You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Day 83.
Hello.
Hello. I don't know why I did that voice.
Crazy. Are you doing
Yeah.
like
Hi, Kermit the Frog here.
Oh,
Yeah.
good stuff. It's cooking. Cooking time.
You're overflowing. This happens sometimes. Jeremy's doing the water filter, and he'll fill up like a liter. It's a 1.5 liter bottle, and then he'll forget that it's going. Because in the beginning, it sounds like someone's peeing, and he'll make his joke, "I'm making water," and then sometimes he'll forget.
You might be a redneck if.
But he estimates how many liters of water do you think we go through as a family?
At least 4.
A day.
Yeah. That's probably not enough.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So,
Yep.
what did we learn about today?
So I went on with Sam's inspiration because he travels around all of Liberia.
Yeah, Sam's crazy.
So I went by myself today and walked to the street and got me a KK and went to the store. So that was entertaining. Across the street and everything. It was very busy on a Saturday, but I had my backpack.
Go get your backpack. We'll pick it up and show the people what you did. So Jeremy walks out and put it on. He looks so cute. He was wearing his black shirt today. He had to change shirts when he got home because he was too stinky.
Too stinky, I got sweaty.
Yeah.
It was hot today.
And so he took his backpack, his black shirt, his sunglasses, and he was like, "I'm going to market."
I gotta go hang with the people.
So tell me what happened. So I was tracking him on my phone. So we turned on the locator services so I could see him moving. And it was like, oh, he's moving pretty quick. And then he got to the store and he didn't move for a while. And then he kind of, was all of a sudden back home. So he didn't seem to be under duress.
No. And on the way out, it's funny, I walked by these little bitty kids playing outside and they're like, "Hey, white man. Hey, white man." And I'm like, "Hi, guys."
And you can't do that in the U.S. Hey, white man. You can't do that. Here you're like a celebrity. In the U.S., middle-aged, middle-class white man is like the devil. But in Liberia, you're like a celebrity.
I know.
So this morning we got up and went to, I use the word "we got up" pretty loosely because we are late risers here at the Smith house. If we could sleep till 11 every single day, we totally would. And our kids would be on board, So we let them stay up late. We keep them up late but no, we usually go to bed. We send them to the bed at 9:30ish. And then they do their little games. They've made toys out of yarn themselves. Not like me knitting, but like themselves. I got a little behind on my laundry, so I haven't been able to work on my knitting. You can see my laundry. So Jeremy's cooking. So there's my laundry on one side of the sink. There's our dishes on the other. What are you cooking, babe?
Homemade French fries and pancakes.
He found I don't want to say Idaho potatoes, but that's what I would call them at home.
Like old potatoes.
White potatoes.
So
at the market, he didn't go to the street stand yet.
I did.
You? You did go to the street stand. You got the pineapple. Okay.
Yeah, I got a pineapple.
Let's take a bite. Let's take a bite for the people.
And a KK ride, it was 100 LD, which is 50 cents one way. And it probably should have been cheaper, but I didn't want to haggle with the guys. I was like, "Here you go. Thanks for my ride, man." But it was kind of crowded on the way back.
No, some lady was like, "He didn't give you your change."
It's okay. I gave him 100 LD, which is 50 cents.
Sounds like she was ready to defend your honor.
And he was supposed to give me back 70, which would have made the ride
10 cents.
10 cents or something.
Or less.
I'm like, it's all right, man.
100 LD is 50 cents. So 20 LD would be 5 cents?
It'd be 1/5.
Or 10 cents?
So 1/5, it'd be 10 cents.
10 cents. Look at that math. You've gotten better at math since we did the clothing stuff.
Yep.
I'm in good spirits today. So we're doing the painting project at the orphanage soon. We bought all the paint. We got all the buckets. We got to scrape the walls and get it painted with some water-based latex paint so that the outdoor cement wall, number one, it will look better, but that's not why we're doing it. We're doing it so that it doesn't break down with the weather because their concrete is sand-based. So that's something we learned. That's important to do here in Liberia. And that's kind of a Florida, you got to really watch the salt in the water, kind of breaking down things. So that was a $300 project. So if you guys want to throw in on that, let me know. I'll send you my Venmo and you can throw in on that. Or if you want to just give to Small World, the 501c3, just give to the agency directly. And you can just put in the memo. This is to go to the children's home maintenance and improvements. They will earmark your money for that. So, I said last night in our video at the end, I got teary-eyed, but I said, I feel like all of these kids at the orphanage are my kids too, until they're just you guys as kids. So you guys that are adopting them, we got a video again from Hannah today of her going to a school dance party and just like jumping around, dancing, having a great time. She was wearing a cowboy hat and sunglasses, I think. Like, it was really cute. And like Hannah, I don't feel like Hannah's my kid anymore, but like when she was at the orphanage and she was separated from her family and waiting for embassy appointments to immigrate, I felt like she was a little partly my child too, because her parents sent gifts through us and I got to sit down with her and talk to her, ask her how she was doing. At first she was a little shy. Now she like totally, like when she sees me, she's like open arms, like, hello, Rachel, with her cute little voice. But these kids, like, some of them, are in limbo. Some of them met their families, some of them haven't, but some of them are in limbo. We took the kid, they need, some of the medical needs or physical needs, things that they need that aren't like emergent, but they're really important. We're trying to knock out while we're here, like shoes for school. Before the rainy season hits, was fun to get done. They were so excited to go back to school because these kids basically destroy their shoes. And it's not so much the cost of the shoes. The cost of the shoes were between like $2.50 and $7 per pair. So I finally got the last 2 pairs of shoes. Oh, I'm going to show you guys the shoes. Hang on. Okay, so one of the little girls at the orphanage is 9, and she has a big foot. Now, my oldest daughter is of African descent. She turns 11 2 days from now, on Monday, and she wears a size 9 women's shoe. So this little girl that's 9, she wears, this is a size 8, so it's a 38, like the metric system, but it's an 8. So I got these 2 pairs that they're not marked. So like one of them I think is marked, but for school they need like the tire consistency rubber soles. They can't just go in Crocs because the ground here, the weather, the mud, the rain, they need something good. So, and these are from the States. So the woman I bought these shoes from yesterday was I was on the way home from the orphanage. I was like, let's just stop there. They look like they have shoes. She's of African descent. I don't think she's Liberian. She may have been Liberian ties. But she lives in Iowa. And she has been here for 3 or 4 months. She came with the intention of adopting. And she got these shoes from Goodwill. And she's not upcharging at all for these. Like $7 for both of these shoes for me. So she's just helping the local people here. But she was at that shop selling, and there's of course an older woman running this shop as well that was so sweet and nice. But she told me, the lady that it was from Iowa, of African descent, said, and I didn't ask her like her ties to Liberia or where she was born, or it wasn't really the direction we were going. She said that she was trying to adopt 2 children in need that she knew up here, an older child and a younger child, but that the U.S. Embassy gave her such a hard time that she can't stay anymore. She can only stay for 4 months before she had to go. So I don't know if she comes here periodically to help the locals or if she was coming for just that. But she was like, God bless you for not giving up. She's like, I ran out of money to be able to stay here. So I'm just going to try to continue to support these kids however I can. And I just think that that's sad that she is a U.S. citizen, came to Liberia to be helpful, tried to adopt 2 kids. And I don't know the whole backstory, but I still think that the first words out of her mouth are the U.S. Embassy still allowing adoptions? Because she's like, oh, well, what do you need these shoes for? She was very nice. She's going to find me another pair. There's one more little boy. They didn't have his size, but she thinks she has them, so she's going to keep digging. But that was interesting to me. So, how's the cooking going, baby?
It's going good.
So you're doing potatoes and pancakes?
Yep.
Okay. Potatoes and pancakes.
They were low on meat at the store today.
So the next thing we're going to try to do is once we get the walls painted, we'll show you how that goes. We got medication for the kids for the next year, over the counter type stuff. And actually you can buy antibiotics. So if like one of the kids gets an infection or something and the doctor says, hey, they need amoxicillin, they can have that already stocked at the home because there's not a lot of laws on prescriptions or anything. You just walk in and get what you need. But they do that under the guidance of a medical professional, obviously. They can take them to the clinic and then they have it in stock. Intestinal parasites are a thing here, especially like little kids that are living here. They don't understand hand washing when there's like 38 of them. There's kind of a thing, so sometimes they have to treat them for that. Sometimes new kids will come in that have intestinal issues, intestinal infections, or intestinal worms, and they'll spread that, to the other children before they can really figure out what's going on. So, there's those. So that medication is waiting for them. Vitamins was the big thing that Albert and I got too, and he was like, "Do you need me to reduce it?" I'm like, "No, dude. You buy everything that you think for the foreseeable future that we can carry out of here, and we'll just make it happen." So that was something I just paid out of pocket. So anybody that wants to chip in on that, you're more than welcome to do so. If you chip in on it, I'm going to turn around and try to buy a deep freezer for them and solar panels. So with about $2,500 from now moving forward, which I don't have $2,500 extra dollars, but the solar batteries. So he can buy them in increments. But basically I'm like, tell me the solar need. Like tell me what the equipment would cost, installation and everything for you, to have everything where you never have to worry about the power going out, because the electricity here, the current goes out all the time. Our hotel, you guys have seen the power. If you've been watching our videos, you've seen the power go out and the screen goes, we're in the dark talking. We have a backup generator. The Jenny guy goes and turns it on fairly fast, like 5 minutes max, I would say. And we're back up and running, and then at some point during the night, they'll flip it back over. But the power in Liberia in general goes out at least 2 or 3 times a day sometimes. And for them, where they live, they don't have a backup generator that just kicks on, or a Jenny guy that goes and turns it on. So they can't really run things. So they risk losing things like meat. So they can't freeze stuff. So they have to get things fresh a lot, which is more costly. So they pay about $60 a month for their electricity, but it's very unreliable. So even though they have the electricity going down, it's better, it can go out at any time. So the solar for the lights, especially in the middle of the night, you don't want it to be dark outside their orphanage especially. So that's a big thing. So $2,500 would take care of that completely. And that $2,500 would include the deep freezer to store the food on the solar system. But the batteries I looked at, they look like car batteries. They're pretty interesting. But for the setup to get them going and installation and everything, plus a good deep freezer that is going to work for the next 10 years or so, $2,500 would take care of that. So he showed me the actual panels when we were at the hardware store too. We were looking at looking at paint and stuff. We went next door, and when I say paint, I mean like 5-gallon buckets, like 25 gallons of paint. I'm like, Jeremy's gonna be so excited. I tried to kill Jeremy accidentally when we moved into a fixer-upper, and I made him fix up everything. And then we left. We paid off my loans.
You were talking about these kids earlier. I feel like we're just eternally attached to these kids.
Yeah, and do you feel that way too? Like I know that they're not our kids, but I feel a sense of parentship over them in the absence of their parents. And
I know we can't parent all of them, obviously, but I do hope I can find out down the road like their story and how they're doing and be.
Yeah, we know a lot of their parents, but there's 20 kids that need parents still.
Just you have this bonding experience, even though they just come and take a nap in your lap. Some kid.
They're and the kids here. I've been to a lot of other. This is Jeremy's first country and orphanage experience. And I've been to other places similar to this, not here, but in other places. One thing about these kids is that their emotional development is not ignored here. Like the women here carry their children on their backs, like they baby wear like crazy. They nurse till they're 2. They do everything they can to keep these kids alive. And they're very family oriented. So like the siblings are always helping. I mean, if you could see, there's two littles that are actually there's 3 little kids that are like toddlers in the orphanage. And there's only 3 of them. The rest of them are 3 and up. But those 3 toddlers, man, those other kids dote on them and do for them and help them break up. Like if I give them all little biscuit cookies or whatever, they're breaking them up into small pieces and watching them chew, and they're running around. I mean, it's like having all of these kids really care for each other. So the attachment disorders that you see in some other countries where kids are kind of left with no one to watch out for them for hours on end, and they're in cribs and ignored when they cry, that kind of thing. That's not what you're dealing with in Liberia. Their emotional development, their personality development is met more than their nutritional needs, I would say. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
You just see, I mean, everywhere you go, you can see someone, they call them lapas. They're like baby wraps. where you're wearing the kid on the back or the front. I mean, you see people breastfeeding everywhere. So they really do try as hard as they can to attach their kids, and some of them are very successful. And the ones that are not, of course, that's why we're here. So I think, what did you say, the birth rate in Liberia is like 4 point something, whereas in the U.S. it's hovering at 2.
Actually, it's a little less than 2.
So the U.S. is like 1.9.
Yeah.
And Liberia is like 4.1 or something.
Because to sustain, you need 2.
You need 2, yeah. I don't know how those numbers factor in people like us. I don't guess it does factor that in. Because we have 2 biologicals, but we have 3 children joining our family after their birth, so. All right.
Developing nations are still keeping up, even higher.
Well, yeah. Did I tell you? I hope this is an appropriate thing to say. So I'm sitting in the pharmacy with Albert, and he's like naming off all the medicine he needs, and they're counting it up and everything, putting it in a big box. And on the very top shelf, I'm looking at all the medicines, right? They got blood pressure medicine, they got antibiotics, they got like overactive bladder, vitamins, cough medicine, like everything you can imagine. Rabies vaccines.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it cheaper?
I did not ask the cost. They don't have the prices listed.
So we don't have to go home if we get bit by a dog.
I think that they had syringes, they had insulin, that kind of stuff. But on the top shelf, guess what I saw?
I'm afraid to know what you're going to say.
Viagra and condoms.
Together forever.
They were not, it was like the Viagra. It didn't say Viagra, it was the generic, but I was like, I know that word. Look, I'm a PA in the ER in the States, so I know a lot of big words that have to do with medical stuff, but I was like, that's Viagra.
And they intentionally named this stuff.
And then,
They intentionally named this stuff.
Well, most of the generic names, like the generic name for Viagra is the chemical name, so it represents the chemical makeup. So Viagra is just what they came up with to
make it sound fun.
Yeah. So next to the Viagra, there's like 2 different boxes of Viagra and Cialis up there.
That's hilarious.
And then there's like 3 different boxes of condoms. And one of them was called Hot Night, and then Surprise Night, and then
Creative
Magic Night, I think. It was all about nighttime.
This magic moment.
And then they had different, like, it was on the very top shelf. Like, if you want this, you're going to have to come in and ask for it. And they're going to have to knock it. They have this little stick. They knock it down, and then they catch it. All the boxes
I did
are
hear a
lined up
radio
that way.
commercial for some medication like that while we were driving around one of our
Yes.
drivers.
And I was just like,
That was funny.
why? I'm not trying to be judgy or anything, but when a country is at a birth rate of 4.1, I feel like we need to put the Viagra up on the top shelf. I'm okay with the Viagra being on the top shelf. I want everybody's quality of life to be good. But let's put the condoms at the door. Everybody needs one. Just take it with you.
They should just give it away with the Viagra.
Because there's kids everywhere. And like some of their, children are a blessing and a gift. And I'm not saying anything about that. But I am saying that like birth control and good choices after you get an education and an ability to feed yourself independently is best. But yeah, I'm sitting there, and like they didn't want me to stand, like they just wanted me to sit down in this chair. So I'm sitting in this chair, and they offered me a water. I was like, I'm okay. And then they offered me like an energy drink soda, and I was like, I probably need that. So I drank that. Gave me a little heartburn. The security guard gave it to me.
You know what it reminds me of?
But
you know what that reminds me of? When the ladies go do wedding dress shopping and they give you like a bottle of
exactly.
champagne.
Like they were giving me treats. And I know part of it, this has happened at other stores and other shops, is that I'm American. And so they're like, oh, sit down. And I'm like, I don't want to sit down.
I don't get any treats when I go shopping.
I've been in the car all day. Nobody offers you a chair?
No, I just get...
I will say this, like, when I just walk down the road, maybe when they're yelling, hey, white lady, hey, pretty white lady, I'm like, ooh, I feel icky when you do that. But the second chest set got here today. I feel kind of like a jerk. So the guy that made our chest set, he works from the beach, and he came to knock on our door. He asked the security guards. He told them he had an order for me. I assume he asked the security guards because they don't let anybody through. So I'm sure he did. And he had an order for a friend of mine in the U.S. to get their chest set. Thank you for buying that. I don't want to say who because I know some of their family watches this too, and it might be a gift or something. But it's another chest set, so I got to pay him for his chest set. He really has been working pretty hard on it. And doing well, and he gave me his phone number if someone has a different order, and I asked him about another order if he could do it, and he said yes. So I'm gonna try to get a couple orders for him for the next time. But But yeah, he did it. But he knocked on the door, and I totally ignored it. Jeremy was upstairs, and I was like, somebody knocked on the door, but like, I'm eating lunch, so I don't really want to answer. Because usually when they knock on the door, it's like, there's a lot of kids in the pool today, and sometimes it's a kid looking for a bathroom, and I'm like, I'm not the bathroom. Because our room is right next to the pool. And on Saturdays, it's kind of like the wave pool over here. It's like a baby pool, but it's huge. It's long and wide, but it's only like 2.5 feet, maybe 3. 2.5. 1.5 to 2. It's really, really shallow.
So it's really funny when you see people with life jackets on.
Yeah, they have life jackets on, and it's a 1.5 feet. There's a lifeguard too. He keeps it close eye. These guys can't swim. Jeremy loaned out his goggles to these kids. They were probably like between 10 and 12. And these boys need swimming trunks, but they are in their underwear. And I guess that's just all they have. But they're in like boxer briefs, and I'm like feeling bad for them. Like, I mean,
I don't want to be the one white guy they see and not share my stuff.
But they asked Jeremy if they could borrow his goggles. I don't even think they can go underwater. They didn't seem like they were strong swimmers. I want to pass out bathing suits though, because I'm like, these kids are like puberty. Like, they need more coverage. The girls and the boys. Huh? Don't you think?
Put some clothes on, bro. Okay.
Yes, I do want to try. Homemade friend. You cut this yourself.
Yeah.
Look at how well he cuts these with just a knife. That's pretty good. Okay. All right, that's it. Day 83. Anything else?
No. KK ride.
We love you guys as kids. Those of you that are waiting that are unmatched. Those of you that are waiting that are matched. We love you guys as kids. Don't give up. It's going to be okay. There's an odd bug. Okay. Oh. An unknown bug.
I'm a little bit busy.
Kill it. You're a big, strong girl.
You can do it.
Tomorrow I'm going to show you guys the bracelets that my kids bought from the beach with their own money. And I'm going to do something about my lion hair in the next 48 hours. Check this out. I did not use the straightener today. Oh, because we swam for exercise. That's why we were in the pool on Saturday. So we did that on Thursday. We did it on Thursday and we did it today. And I'm trying to swim for like 30 minutes. I got a little interrupted by the kids that were swimming in their underwear.
It's a Saturday.
Post-puberty in their boxer briefs.
So tomorrow we should go a little bit earlier.
What would happen if I just brought a bunch of bathing suits and just left them by the pool? Just trunks.
They might say thank you.
I don't think they would.
So it's a 25-meter one-way pool. So.
Yeah, the measurements got all messed up when I started going the shorter way to try to stay in the deep end, away from the kids that can't go underwater but wanted to use Jeremy's goggles. That was kind of cute. It was nice of you to share. I was like, make sure that you wash those. You know.
I will.
So, okay, day 83.
Bye, everyone.
If you guys, if anybody wants to help out with the Venmo stuff, or you want to Venmo me some money or send some money to Small World, or you want the tax deductible link, or you want to just send it to us directly so we can get it done a little quicker, whatever you want to do is fine. Let me know. Bye.